Well, you had to figure with the Flintstones being covered yesterday, we'd be covering the Jetsons today, right? Considered in a way a sister series to the modern Stone Age family, the Jetsons had a bit of a unique history to it. At first, it only lasted one season, 24 episodes, between 1962 and 1963. Years later, in 1985, a second season was made where they took the sci-fi genre of the show even further, most likely to capitalize on the revised sci-fi genre that was brought about by the Star Wars trilogy being out. It wasn't until those 80s episodes that we'd actually get a Christmas episode for the series, which is somewhat surprising to me, seeing how the first notes on the Jetsons theme actually sound like a Christmas carol to me in a way. Listen to that and tell me it doesn't at least a little bit sound like sleigh bells. But I'm getting carried away here. Let's take a look at the last episode of the second season, A Jetsons Christmas Carol. See, I told you we'd be getting to this kind of story eventually. Before we get to the classic Christmas Carol type of story, we have to set up a problem for the Jetsons. While George is being forced to work overtime on Christmas Eve, Astro manages to open up his present a little early, finding a robotic cat to chase around. But during the chasing, Astro breaks it and accidentally swallows a sprocket, which causes him to get very sick. What importance does this have to the Christmas Carol story involved in this? Well, we'll get back to that. Let's get to the Christmas Carol plot itself, as Spacely is sleeping in his office with his money due to the banks not being open and he can't make a deposit. When all of a sudden...
What is it? Who's there? It is I, Cosmo, your old business partner, Marsley.
He meets up with a character that's never been mentioned before and will never be mentioned ever again. I mean, I'm serious, even when they go back into the past thanks to the Spirit of Christmas Past, who looks like a combination of an old Viewmaster mixed with a Polaroid camera, we never get to see the young Jacob Marsley when he was alive. But that's not important, I guess. Spacely is taken into the past to see his childhood with George, as well as his teen years with his future wife. Then to the present...
I am the spirit of Christmas present. Get it? Christmas present?
You're not funny and nobody likes you.
To see the Astro situation. Unlike with Scrooge, however, these things don't seem to move Spacely one iota. So it's up to the Christmas future spirit to show him something that, to him, is a true nightmare. The Jetsons getting rich thanks to suing Spacely for the sprocket that Astro swallowed, causing Astro's demise.
I still feel sorry for old Spacely. After the lawsuit, he was destroyed. His business crumbled. His wife left him. Dogs would chase him through the streets. He was last seen on Skid Row. Total humiliation and utter poverty finished him off.
Yes, it's not the true meaning of Christmas or anything that moves Spacely to change his ways. It's pure, unadulterated greed that drives him. But whatever works, I guess. Spacely gets his personal vet over to get the sprocket out of Astro, then gives the Jetsons some special presents, including a big raise for George. Having watched numerous episodes of this series, I know by Valentine's Day George will be fired from the company, then rehired by St. Patrick's Day. A Jetsons Christmas Carol isn't bad per se, but it does feel very rushed. I have seen a Christmas Carol done well in a half-hour format, thank you Disney for the great childhood memory there, but here the combination of the shopping scene that they put at the beginning as well as the Astro subplot takes up some time that could have been further focused on Spacely's story. But for what we get, despite the rush, it's not that bad, and you can do much worse for a Christmas special.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I don't know, Cosmo. Sometimes I think you love money more than you love me.
Yeah, but I love you more than I love Spaceball.
How sentimental.